into the pit area.
And he is out clearly, and that's a tough break, but a great break for Steve Kinzer, who now inherits the lead as we head down and get ready for a restart here. So Jack Haudenchild in the 6th spot. Rodney Duncan rounds out the top 10. And now let's go to Steve Evans, who's with the man who appeared to be a sure winner.
Well, suddenly, as the yellow flag comes out, our leader, Doug Wolfgang, pulls into the pits, and we're here for an explanation. What happened, Wolf?
It blowed up.
Just flat blowed up.
Yeah, the bearings went out of it or something. It still has oil pressure, but it's rattling, and it's stinking, oil stink in the cockpit. And when you get them fumes out of the injectors, the only thing you're going to do by keeping going about another straightaway is scatter it all over, so I just shut it off.
Is that a vibration you feel, or with the mufflers now, can you hear that engine?
No, you can hear it. You can feel it in the steering wheel. You know, I mean, the whole car will shake a little bit. I think what happened is it probably broke the end off the crankshaft. It's still running with oil pressure, but it's got the nub end off the cranks broke, or getting ready to disengage.
I was looking forward to talking to you in the winner's circle. Sorry to see you.
I was too. I like talking to you.
Especially in the winner's circle. Tough break, but we're about ready for a restart here. And number 11, Steve Kinzer, bringing him down off turn number 4. And right behind him, Bobby Davis Jr. We're under green again.
And here is 56 Kenny Jacobs and 6 Bobby Davis Jr. They're fighting for second right there, those 2 red cars. And look at Chuck Haudenchild. He has gone high. In fact, almost went out of the bowl.
He did. Remember, he was started in 6th spot. He's already moved up. There's Bobby Davis Jr. in the red 6, Rocky Hodges in the orange 23, and that fight for 3rd.
And also, Brock, down the front straightaway, the number 1 car was Sammy Swindell and Joe Garrett in the 3G car. That is the fight for the 11th position. Up in front of Sammy in the 10th spot is number 20, Rodney Duncan. But the real battle there is for 11th. Garrett giving Swindell a handful.
And look at Jack Haudenchild ride low out of turn 4 to take the 4th spot from Rocky Hodges. That white and green 18 is roaring, Steve Evans.
Oh, indeed he is. And Haudenchild seems to be able to go anywhere he wants in this racetrack. He can even make a mistake and recover from it, as we just saw when he went high and almost off the rim. Now, a race going on here for 3rd. There's races going on everywhere. But for 3rd, it's number 6, Bobby Davis Jr. And, of course, it's 18, Jack Haudenchild, who's on the march.
And remember the years that went by when Superstition said you couldn't run a green race car. Boy, don't tell Jack Haudenchild that. He is flying here. As he goes down that front straightaway, got his sights set on that red number 6, Bobby Davis Jr., and right in front of Davis is the 2nd place car, Kenny Jacobs in the 56. And in the 5th place is Rocky Hodges right behind him in 6R Mark.
I tell you, Kenny Jacobs have done a heck of a job, but right now he's under tremendous pressure from the number 6 car of Bobby Davis Jr., who wants Jacobs' 2nd position.
And there is Davis coming off turn number 4. Rocky Hodges unchallenged right now in that 5th spot. He's got a handle on that. But the race right now is for that 2nd spot. Kenny Jacobs from the 56, the 6 car of Davis, and the 18 car of Haudenchild right on his Nerf car down the back straightaway. All 3 cars right in that low groove, right on the bottom. There goes Davis high down the front straightaway, trying to get an angle on Jacobs. And will he get underneath him coming off of turn 2? He does.
And will Haudenchild also be able to take advantage of Jacobs going high? I'll tell you, I think that Bobby Davis Jr. got in there and gave him just enough of a tap to put him out of that groove. It's all fair in this kind of racing.
Oh, yeah. Bobby Davis Jr. now takes over that 2nd spot. Haudenchild 3rd. Kenny Jacobs falls all the way back to 4th.
And as Haudenchild in the 18 car comes through, he is in 3rd. There's the 56 car in 4th. There's Rocky Hodges in the 23S car. He is in 5th. And Mark Kinzer back in 6th. So they're still very, very tight.
Oh, they sure are, Steve. There goes Haudenchild off turn number 2 down the back chute. There's Rocky Hodges. You can see that interval right behind him in that white car. That is Mark Kinzer. Rocky and Mark Kinzer have been going at it the whole race. Kinzer seems to get into it a little bit into turn 3, and then Rocky pulls out down the front straightaway. So these 2 guys going at it. Look at the tire smoke coming off of Rocky's right rear.
And traffic is starting to be a real factor here. And we have got spinning out is Bobby Davis Jr. He was closing on the lap car number 85, Bob Ewell, and all of this happened.
And the wreckage is the number 6 car of Bobby Davis Jr. On top of it is the orange 23 of Rocky Hodges. Here comes Rocky crawling out of the wreckage. He is all right. Crew's going over to see how Bobby Davis Jr. is. Bobby is crawling clear of the wreckage. He apparently is all right as well. Thank goodness for roll bars and big wings. Yeah, both drivers okay. But what a mess. Have another look at this.
You know, Brock, it appears that Bobby Davis Jr. in the red 6 car just got into the turn a bit too hot. The car wanted to oversteer on him, and he spins right here. Now, coming into the picture will be number 56, Kenny Jacobs. What does Kenny Jacobs have to do? Well, he tries to get down low and see if he can find room, and there is not quite enough room. He slams into Bobby Davis Jr. Jack Houdenstall, the 18 car, he gets involved and says, I'm just going to put the throttle down and push him out of the way, which is exactly what he does. And then Rocky Hodges, 23S, gets involved in this thing, and everybody goes on their top. Watch Houdenstall, the green and white 18 car. When he gets in there, he just doesn't give up. He says, I'm not hanging around. He pushes the 56 car out of the way, and here just behind him as Rocky Hodges come in, he and Bobby Davis Jr. get upside down. Right now, Brock is with the very fortunate driver of red number 6.
I'm with Bobby Davis, who crawled out apparently all right. Obviously disappointed, running a very strong race. Bobby, it looks like you just kind of got pushed over. You know, you got into it, and all of a sudden a couple of other cars just kind of shoved you on upside down.
Well, yeah, I'll try to get underneath that lap car there, and we got a little sideways, and we just kept getting shoved and shoved and shoved, and tore it up pretty good.
We're sorry you're out, Bobby, but in the meantime, we're under red here. Everybody's out of their cars, making some adjustments, including Sammy Swindell working on his black number 1. Also, Steve Kinzer on the back straight. Steve Evans is with him.
Well, I'm over in turn number 3 with Steve Kinzer, who just wishes this race would get over, especially with him in the front. And I've added, now in addition to the gloves, sunglasses, because the sun is brutal coming out of 3. How is it for you?
Well, it's coming out of 4, actually. It is messing the vision up a little bit, but I don't know. I just wish this thing get over so I could warm up.
Have you got any kind of a shade on your visor or anything?
No, I don't have. Most generally, the only time the sun will start bothering you is when it starts coming down. I figured we'd get out here and maybe get this over a little quicker than this.
Well, without all the incidents, it would have been over quicker. Any explanation for this amount of incidents in one race?
Well, what it is actually is we just got a dry, slick track, and everybody's sort of on the bottom. And then when anytime everybody's just sort of in there beating and banging a little bit, you might say. And on the starts, you're doing the drivers will probably do stuff where normally you wouldn't do if you got a track in a little bit better condition than what we have today.
Let's hope we get to all green laps when we restart this thing.
I hope we get her started green, and then I get to the checker first.
Steve Kinzer. Can't wait for this one to be over. Okay, Brock?
Well, Steve, I'm with Jack Houdenstall, who was right in the middle of that. Everybody you just kind of got lucky and kind of slid through on the bottom side. But did you hurt the car? I know you got into it a little bit.
The car's bound up a little bit. We just everybody piled up in front of us, and we found a hole through there and got through. So we were just lucky to have her in one piece right now.
Jack, I'll tell you what, you did a fantastic move. You got high, went high for a while, and then you kind of came down low. Was it not working for you after a while up there?
Well, yeah, it's kind of going away up there in such a follow leader deal. You just had to try and get around them somewhere, so I tried it up there.
It worked for a while.
Yeah, it's working all right.
Okay, good luck.
Found a hole? Well, there was a hole because Jack Houdenstall used the number 18 car like a bulldozer. As you can see, there's still some cleanup to be done here at Tulsa Speedway. We'll be back with 4 laps remaining.
I'm Brock Yates along with Steve Evans back in Tulsa for the shootout where we've had 2 red flags, 3 cars upside down, and 2 caution flags. So this is 25 laps that just don't want to get over with, Steve.
It has not been uneventful. And you heard Steve Kinzer say who will be leading him down into turn 1 when we get the green flag. He just wants this over with him still out in front. And that could very well be the way it happens because, as you know, Brock, there's nobody tougher than the man from Bloomington, Indiana in that number 11 car. And he's on the gas right now, as are the survivors of this feature race.
Behind him, the 18 car Jack Houdenstall in 3rd place, Kenny Jacobs in the red 56. And Houdenstall Child. We wonder whether those two race cars have survived that little bang-up that they had that dumped Bobby Davis Jr. and Rocky Hodges upside down.
Well, they had a few moments to work on the 18 car. The crew was out there, and only Jack Hauenstein knows for sure if it's handling right. But I'll tell you what, he's not losing any ground to Steve Kinzer.
He sure isn't. You can't rattle that kid. He is absolutely no nerve endings as near as I can figure. Jack Hauenstein is as brave as they come, and he is standing on it. Oh, look at this. More action. Sammy Swindell and Mark Kinzer getting into it in turn number 3. Believe it or not, Sammy Swindell, through attrition and hard driving, one spin, has worked his way up to 5th place.
That's right. There's not much out there that Sammy Swindell hasn't hit in the last 20-some-odd laps. And as the leader goes by Steve Kinzer, the flag this time, we will be on the last lap.
Sammy Swindell working on Mark Kinzer, trying to get through for that 4th place. And there is Mark Kinzer right in front of Sammy. They move by a lap car. Mark Kinzer in the 6R. There's your winner, Steve Kinzer. It's over. Finally, there comes Kinzer, the other Kinzer, marked down to take the checker. And Sammy Swindell failed to do it, finishes 5th overall. Steve Kinzer wins it. What can we say? The greatest, most successful sprint car driver in modern history wins another one on the World of Outlaws trail. Jack Hauenstein drives through to 2nd. Kenny Jacobs, Mark Kinzer, Sammy Swindell round out the top 5. Ward, Peters, Duncan, Garrity, and Ewell top 10. Steve?
Well, it's called sprint car racing, but today it was more of an endurance contest, and no one knows that more than the winner, Steve Kinzer. Congratulations.
Well, it was an endurance race. We had a lot of reds, and like I said, that stuff happens on these type of tracks, and I don't always lucky to get through it all, and we'll just anytime you win a race, you're happy to do it, so we're glad to win it.
Let's go back to the second restart when you ambushed Bobby Davis Jr. at the green flag. That was a terrific move on the inside.
Well, Bobby got a little bit push there going into 3, and it got him off the bottom, and when it did, I just snuck under him, and it made a big difference. It was going to make a big difference in the race. I thought maybe Doug was slipping out, coming out too, but then he had motor problems, so who knows if I'd have got by him or not. But we're glad to come out. You got to be there to be in the position when they give you them things.
Well said, and again, congratulations.
Thank you.
One wild day of racing here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. For Steve Evans, I'm Brock Yates. Thanks for joining us.
The executive producer for American Sports Cavalcade is Harvey M. Palish. Produced and directed by John B. Mullen. Promotional consideration provided for and a fee paid by the Style Auto World Championship Team, the nation's premier source of fast lane fashions. Style Auto, the champion's choice for the style of your life. The American Sports Cavalcade is a presentation of Diamond P Sports.